Good evening. It's the 11th of August, Friday after market, and I'm just going to go over my trades for today. It was a break-even day. I had a good success this morning, and I was experimenting with buying the rips and selling the dips. So I'm buying the rips, selling the rips because it's in a downtrend, and buying the dips. So basically, I was trying to sell up here and buy down here just to continue with the trend. And I've got the hourly chart open on my screen at the moment, and the reason I was trying to sell the rips, so I wanted to sell. So yesterday was a good successful day. I did it really well, and I wanted to try and emulate that because it was really easy trading as well yesterday. Made really good gains and it worked really well. So today I was hoping for another downtrend day. We started off trending down, we pulled back up, and I was hoping it would fall down like that because we didn't quite. If you go back to the daily, I was expecting a move down to the next major area, and it didn't really do much. It hovered around this area here, and I was hoping we would have got down to at least this 50 moving average today. I think the SPY got down to the 50 on the daily. Let's have a quick look at the SPY. Look, this is the SPY. In fact, it's the ES which touched the 50 moving average on the daily. Look at that, the ES went straight through it and rejected it. So maybe I should have thought we would be having a more of a upward trending day on the hourly rather than SPY, but I was expecting the SPY to at least get down to this point. So probably coming into Monday or Tuesday, we may have a little bit of unfinished business. We're up here at the moment, so maybe we're going to come down and touch the 50, wherever that may be. So that's something to look at for Monday or Tuesday. This touching of the 50, maybe coming up to this level here. So if the 50 comes in, we might just see a pullback to below the zone, which would be 443 area. That's an area to watch out for Monday on SPY. But anyway, hasn't quite hit that major area yet, so I think we've still got a little bit of downside to go. Going over back to the MES daily, it's a bit of the opposite picture. It actually did go through this 50 moving average, and it poked through and pushed back up again. But pretty much an uneventful day because we started there, we ended there. So we're down officially, was it 0.04% on the day, but basically nothing really today. We had PPI earlier which pushed it up a little bit, pulled it back down, and then pushed it back up again. So the day wasn't very hard to trade. And I'll go into some of my trades now, back onto the hourly. So in fact I'll go into the 5 minute. So this is today on the 5 minute chart, and we had our PPI number at 8:30, which was here. As you can see, we pushed up and then just tanked down, and in my mind that set me up into a downtrend for the day, and it was trending down. And I think I did take the rejection, the pull back to this area. I just need to check my trade. Yeah, so I got in. It wasn't pre-market, it was just as the market opened. I see the high volume now. I keep thinking that's 9:30, but we had extra volume coming in. So 9:30 was this candle here. So my pullback area was exactly there. So it pulled back. I really wanted to catch it there, so it was more of an early scalp. Came up into the 20 moving average. I caught it just there, and I took profit at the bottom. And that was a good scalp, and that was a good start to the day. And I wanted to do the same coming up into this area and this area, and I scalped up here and back down, but I took a little bit on the VWAP, but then I kind of held, hoping it to come back down to make a new low, or at least low the day, or get close, but it didn't. So I stopped out around there. I think I stopped out up there, and then I tried another scalp here, which is the top of the pre-market, well, the recent pre-market. And as you can see, that didn't work very well as well. So I got in, I was in profit for a bit, but I stopped out. In fact, I used my level there at 44.85 as a stop area. So even though I made profit off of this move, I made a little bit of profit off of this move, and then I made a loss there. So it's more of a break-even trade, and I made a loss on this trade here. So I was down really. It's kind of break-evenish because, and then I took this trade, and I come down. I took some profit there. I did take that trade there. I'm trying to add to my position, and then that came down. In fact, I didn't take enough profit, and I stopped it out. I stopped the ads out there and stopped it out there. But I got back in again. So same position as this one, same location. Got back in, and I rode it down okay this time, a bit better. And I added as well, and I rode that down, and that was a good trade. So that was a good trade. So that made up for the losses here and here. So again, back to break even roughly. I had a smaller size position there as well, because I was trying to. The reason it's smaller size, we've broken this area here, and to be honest with you, I thought we were going to push outside of this zone. So it was a smaller position, so it worked okay. And it came down, and then I tried a couple of ads there and an ad there, and then I just got chopped around a little tiny bit. I was still trying to go short. I was holding for the short. In fact, I was adding on this bit, and then we pushed up. So the gains from this move down, I lost on this leg up. So I was down at that point. So I think it must have been about 3 or 4 hours down, because I kept buying every time we hit the top, and I really wanted to make it break the low. So my first profit was as it breaks the low, just below this level, and it kept testing this level. It tested it, and I was expecting the volume. Look at the volumes declining as well, and I was waiting for it to break down. Hence why I had a profit below there, and I had one set here and there, but it didn't. It reversed totally, which has really annoyed me, and so I took a biggish loss over the VWAP, and the rest of it came out there. But then I did go back short again, so I'm still trying to keep with the short. I think I took it back on this level, again a smaller position, made a bit back, I added again and made a bit back. So the ads, I'm trying to get more mechanical with my ads. I wanted to try and add, and I added here as well, and as you can see, couldn't quite, I still had my position under it. I wanted to take profit at, and then it stopped me out again, so I was down, so a bit of profit, another stop. You see I got totally chopped up, and then I waited. I think I went short here, short here, short here, short here. It's a bit of a larger position. I think my average price was around there in the end, and then I took profit here. I didn't take enough off. I took a third, not even a quarter of my position off, and I came back. I added up here as well, and I took a little bit out there. I did then get rid of some of my position size before the break even, but in fact so my ads were here, and I then got rid of the ads there. So the ads were in profit, but I was back. I think my break even was about there. So, and then I took a bit of profit here and there, and then we had the end of day push back up again, and the rest of them stopped out about there, just below break even, better than break even. So overall, the day was a mixed day. It was some good wins and some bad wins. I overtraded a bit too much as well. Look at that, I missed that. In fact, I had my trend line in for this pattern as well, and I was watching it, and I was really waiting for it to break through, come back up, and I wanted to add on the breakthrough and back down. That was my plan. I had a short bias as well, but today it went in the opposite direction. You can see it pushed up. We never retested this area again, and we're coming back into this area, so maybe we're putting in another flag position. We may want to break up maybe in the post market, but it's Friday, so the ES futures closes in about 45 minutes, and we won't open till Sunday night, 11 PM my time. So it'll be interesting to see what next week brings. Let's have a quick look on the daily, so we can see if there's anything we can look at or look forward to. So I still quite like what we're seeing. Left hand shoulder, the head. You maybe could say that's a right hand shoulder, but I would probably want this to be the top of the shoulder, so maybe the neckline is this green shaded area. So this area here is a neckline. I really want to see it pull into this area, pull back up, and then see a bit of a sell-off, maybe down to the 200. So that's what we could have setting up, but then we are on this 50 moving average, and we could just see it just pulling off and just pushing up and making a new high over the next few weeks. So that's two, or we could have a third position where we just go sideways for a bit and then goes up or down. So not really much of a prediction. It's either going to go up or go down. It sounds like the weather forecast. It's going to be hot or sunny, rainy or snowy, same type of thing. But to catch these moves in either direction, we want to be watching for confirmations and volume. We can see this increase in volume now on the daily, which was showing us, as we're selling off, it's showing strength in the sell-off, which is a good sign. And maybe we might see volume just level out a little tiny bit, maybe decline a little bit if we keep the sell, if the selling keeps continuing down. And then we want to see a big volume spike as we get to the bottom of the selling, and that will give us a candle that hopefully looks a bit like that, and that will signify the end of the selling. That's ending volume, and so we can push back up again and look for take long entries. So take every day as it comes. Let's have a quick look at oil today. I've not looked at the chart yet. How do we go? Oh, look at that. So we came in, we had this volume, high volume, concentration of volume, and we came right up to that area and didn't quite hit 84.25, this area of convergence. But we are looking like we want to maybe push down, so it looks like we're just setting in a bit of a bull flag, and we're starting to break down here. So maybe Monday we might see it pull back down to this 200 moving average, which is almost going sideways now. So sideways means we might just see some consolidating for a while until we make a decision whether it's going to break down or bounce back up to make another double top here. While we're here, let's have a look at NASDAQ. I think that looked weaker today. It stayed below the VWAP. So this is the hourly NASDAQ. So we couldn't quite get below that area, but look at that for levels. We put those levels in this morning in the pre-market, and it tested it once, tested it twice, tested it 3 times, tested it 4 times. So if you took 15.057, all those areas, you would have done okay today. But it is showing, if you took this as a bounce, but we kind of stayed within this range, apart from the last hour it pushed through and came back down, and we're still back within this range now. So we're showing increased volume. Possibly we're looking for maybe a bit of a sell-off on Monday, Tuesday. So we'll see, but we've got this area as potential resistance. So it's that 15.140 resistance area. Okay, and then Qs will probably look very similar. We're still on the hourly for Qs. So we've still got this area here as resistance, that pivot there and that pivot there providing the resistance. And again, bounced off this area, 364.50, 364.69, so it would have been a great bounce location, and it couldn't quite break through this area. And again, increasing volume, so potentially we might see it retest this area for up, but it's looking bigger. Maybe it's going to do a retest this level and push back down again. So that's what it looks like it's doing to me. And then SPY, I think we looked at SPY at the start. Yeah, so SPY, this is quite significant. It wasn't able to breach the bottoms, the lows, or the closings of the last 2 days, and it's gone back in the reverse direction. So I think definitely Monday we're going to be heading towards that 50 moving average. That's what we can see. Or if we don't go down, if we are having an up day, we've got the 8 and 20 moving average, which is starting to curve around on the daily now. So let's zoom in a bit. So look at that. So we've got the crossing of the 8 is now crossed over through the 20 moving average. So this is a 20 there, and this is showing a daily downtrend. We're in a daily downtrend, looking down, put in a pivot, a new low, and then this is a funny candle. Technically we're below that area, and we're below that area, and we're below that one, so we are in a downtrend now on the daily. So how long it lasts is anyone's guess, so let's just keep an eye on that. But we're moving away from the 20. There's a bit of a gap now from the 20. We haven't had this gap for a while, so if you look, we've been running along the 20 for the last few days, and we've been running along the 8 moving average for the last week as well. And the market will probably want to gravitate back towards these moving averages, so maybe we may see a bit of a pullback into that area on Monday, Tuesday, but we've still got some unfinished business down here, so this 20 moving average is going to start curving as well, the 50 moving average. So I think we will eventually end up down there at some point, but probably like that. Okay, I think that's it really. So a relatively mediocre day, uneventful. We didn't really make any big moves at all, wasn't any direction, and so ends the week, I think we end the week red, yeah, red candle, indecision candle as well, but looking slightly more bearish. And it's interesting on the weekly to see that we've got this area here, which is a 50 moving average on the weekly, and area convergence as well, where we've got the bottoms of these candles, and then the bottoms. So we could see a bit of a weekly move back down to the 50 or the weekly 20 moving average, and then what have we got next? We've got the 50 moving average coming down to 4,200, 300. So possibly we could see a bit of a pause and then a breakdown. Yeah, it looks good. So yeah, I can't wait till next week. It should be an interesting week. Right, have a lovely weekend, and I will speak to some of you over the weekend or on Monday. Take care.